If you followed this channel at all, you've likely seen me use a number of different erasers throughout a number of different videos. And I hope at this point you realize that an eraser, whether it's an electric eraser or any other type of eraser, is not designed specifically for just erasing mistakes. We can use our erasers for a lot of other purposes. The Airbrush is an amazing tool. It's amazing at some very specific things. Not so much when it comes to other things. So we can use other tools and techniques to compensate for some of the pitfalls as far as the Airbrush is concerned. The eraser is no different. I use erasers for a number of different things. Obviously, we can erase mistakes, but you can also use an eraser to create texture, highlights, and other things. And that's true whether you're talking about automotive work, as well as fine art. So an electric eraser is a valuable tool to have at your disposal because it works on a variety of different surfaces, and it will also help you achieve some effects that you wouldn't otherwise be able to achieve with the Airbrush all by itself. Having said that, erasers, whether you're talking about electric erasers or any other type of erasers, are not going to work on every single surface that you might wind up painting on. It's a good tool to have in your toolbox. All of these are tools and techniques that we can all draw on, but I don't necessarily use erasers on every single thing that I paint. Versatility is the key. So let's talk about how we can use an electric eraser in our own artwork. Let's start with texture and highlights. This is a portrait of Chevy Chase that I painted. I began this portrait initially with the Airbrush, and I applied the initial skin tone layer for the portrait. Once the initial skin tone layer was in place, then I came in with the Helix electric eraser and started erasing some texture into this portrait. Using the electric eraser at this point is good for a couple of reasons. For one, we're actually building texture into this portrait early on in the initial stages using a tool other than the Airbrush itself. Two, we're actually adding some highlights through the texture that we're creating with the electric eraser. And three, we're avoiding a color shift because we are using subtractive techniques. We're subtracting paint with the electric eraser versus adding paint, white paint, later on to develop our highlights. Adding a white paint over a darker color of paint, which pretty much every color is darker than white, usually leads to a color shift. So these are all good reasons to use an electric eraser or any other type of eraser and subtractive techniques. And here is one of the keys to really elevating your own artwork. This is not a one and done deal. Once that initial skin tone layer has been painted with the Airbrush and we've come in with the electric eraser or any other eraser and added some texture and highlights to the image, then it's time to come in with the Airbrush again and add a subsequent layer of skin tone. Once that second layer of skin tone has been applied with the Airbrush, then I will come back in with the electric eraser again and begin to reestablish some of that texture and the highlights that we created previously. Working in layers like this will really elevate your artwork because it adds the illusion of depth to your artwork. And all I'm doing when I'm trying to create texture, whether I'm working on a portrait or a skull or just about anything else, is making little circles. This is very exaggerated so that you can see what I'm doing. So you scale this down to the size of the project that you're working on, but all I'm doing for the most part is creating circles or even figure eights with my electric eraser. How many layers does it take? That's really kind of up to you as the artist. Me personally, I normally use several different layers, but it really kind of depends on what I'm actually painting at the time. Getting back to mastering your electric eraser, one of the downsides to using not only an electric eraser, but any eraser is the eraser wears away relatively rapidly. That's especially true with an electric eraser. The tip of your eraser will start to wear away and round itself off. That rounded tip actually works really well when you're creating general texture and highlights like we just discussed. It's not so great when you want to erase a very fine, sharp, crisp line. In order to create those super sharp, crisp lines, we need to get rid of that rounded tip. The easiest method probably for most people would be to take some kind of a knife and to simply cut that tip off. The problem with that is, as you can see, I just cut that not so straight at all. Even if I set it down on the bench and used a knife to cut that, it's not necessarily going to be perfectly straight. If you don't have a nice, sharp, clean edge on the front of your eraser, you risk the eraser actually skipping as it's rotating while you're trying to create that line, and that may not give you that nice, sharp, crisp line that you're looking for. The way I generally like to do this is to use a sharpening pad. This is just a pencil sharpening pad, and I'll take the eraser and just run it onto the sharpening pad until the tip of the eraser is nice and flat. This makes a little bit of a mess because you're getting eraser shavings thrown all over the place, but it works really good at giving you a nice, sharp tip on your eraser, and this will create a super sharp line. Another good tip is to make sure the tip of your eraser doesn't stick out extremely far from the little eraser holder. If your eraser tip is way out here, it can really flex, and that will cause the same thing we were just talking about. When you're actually using the tool and it's rotating on the surface, this will flex and it won't give you a nice crisp line. So it's a good idea to suck that eraser tip as far into the little holder as you can so that it's more rigid. The last tip is the eraser tips themselves. Pretty much every electric eraser that I own came with these white tipped refills, and the white tipped refills are easy to find. If you've watched my other videos, you've heard me talk about soft or non-aggressive erasers as well as harder, more aggressive erasers. You can get soft and hard erasers for your electric eraser as well. The white tipped ones that normally come with pretty much every electric eraser that I own are the soft tip erasers. They're not as aggressive. They will remove paint, but they don't remove paint quite as fast and as efficient as the harder tipped eraser refills do. You can get the harder tipped eraser refills, which are handy to have as well because they remove paint a little bit quicker and a little bit cleaner in some instances. The harder or aggressive tipped erasers are colored gray. And I'll leave a link to all of these items in the description below. That pretty much wraps up my ultimate tips for mastering your electric eraser. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and share. I'm Trevor with Wicked Art Studio. I'll see you guys next week.